Hello people of the internet, my name is Liam Brady, and today I am going to be reviewing the Dear Evan Hansen film adaptation. And just a heads up, I will probably be so annoying comparing both versions of the original show and the movie. So buckle up for that.
Begins with Evan Hansen, played by Ben Platt, reprising his role from the original musical, writing a letter for his therapist when we get our first song of the movie. Anybody have a waving through a window.
I've learned to slam on the brake before I even...
Okay, I can't hold back from talking about this any longer. Ben Platt was 27 when he was filming this movie, and Jesus Christ does it show. Whatever makeup the crew tried to do to make him look younger just ends up making him look older, so you did something, I guess?
Before I lead with the worst of me.
As most people probably know, a few songs from the original musical were cut from this film. Some make sense being cut, like To Break a Glove for example, but there's two songs that literally were important to the story that with them being cut shows not only why they're important, but what is wrong with this film as an adaptation. Anybody Have a Map is important not only for the fact that it introduces the audience to both Evan and Connor's family, but it also shows that both of their mothers struggle in different ways. In other words, it's an anthem about the no man's land of parenthood, whether you're a single mother struggling to make ends meet, or married and financially secure, it's a thankless job.
Oh my god, he is wearing the polo shirt. This adaptation is great and it's flawless.
The choreography in this movie just sucks, as it mainly consists of people walking around hallways. Because that's the type of choreography you want to see in a movie musical. Oh, wow, so fun. After we wave through a window, we're introduced to Jared Kalwani, played by Nikki Dobson.
What? It's Zoe Murphy in that hot band shirt you love so much.
Jared was literally butchered in this film, not only for the fact that the PG rating neuters most of his jokes and dialogue, but also for the fact that after Sincerely Me, he just kinda disappeared from the plot and really only shows up a few times after that. Also, the fact that one of Jared's lines is given to this random person just kinda adds salt to the wound, in my opinion.
Hey, Connor! Loving the new hair length. Very school shooter chic.
Connor, I'm loving this manicure. Very school shooter chic. Such an idiot.
Speaking of which, this is also our introduction to Connor Murphy, played by Colton Ryan.
Think that's funny?
What? No, not at all.
And stop laughing!
I am so sorry, dude, but when you sound like Tobey Maguire and look like Topher Grace in Spider-Man 3, I cannot help but laugh at you. I am so sorry.
Hey. I'm sorry.
We also get introduced to Zoe Murphy, played by Kelton Denver.
Sorry.
Well, no wonder you're getting bullied if you're fucking Naruto running down the hallway. I mean, what do you expect when you're doing that? We see Evan writing one of the pre-mentioned therapy letters in the school library. Because that is, of course, where I would want to type my most personal and valuable thoughts. While waiting for the letter to print, Connor shows up and the two have a conversation.
What happened to your arm?
I was climbing a tree and I fell.
You fell out of a tree? That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Anyways, Connor of course finds the letter and gets pissy at Evan for talking about his sister in a letter. Which, honestly, I don't blame him. That is kind of creepy, dude.
And he storms off, letter in hand.
Evan rushes to the bathroom and almost throws up in a panic, and he takes a chill pill. It's also one of the first times we see the falling from the tree footage. Discuss the main issue with the tree footage when we get towards fail. Later that evening, Evan searches high and low on the internet to see if Connor posted the letter anywhere online. It also shows that Connor apparently uses Facebook, to which I have to say,
No one uses Facebook.
the next day, Evan is called to the principal's office to meet Connor's mother and mother and stepfather, played by Amy Adams and Danny Pino, respectively. It's here where the main plot kicks in, and we find out
Connor took his own life.
Adams and Pinto are very talented people who have been in a lot of great things, but you would not be able to tell that from this. And to show what I mean, let's compare the exact same scene from both versions.
What does that mean?
Well, he's obviously in shock.
I mean, if Connor didn't write
I'm
this.
so sorry. I should probably go, please.
Oh, you don't understand. This is all that we have. This is the only thing that we have left.
Sorry, Connor didn't. He didn't write this.
He's obviously in shock.
No, he didn't. I'm sorry, but I should probably just. Can I please go now? Please, I'm sorry, I should go now.
He's saying anything.
Yeah, honey, I should go.
This is all we have. This is the only thing we have left.
Listen to me.
so Evans is invited to the Murphys for dinner to talk about his and Connor's friendship.
Yeah, it's weird. The only time I saw you two together was when he was screaming in your face at school last week.
He was screaming at you?
Yeah, that's another thing about that screaming clip from earlier that was just weird.
In the original show, Connor yells at Evan, then shoves him to the floor. Then, when we get to this scene in the original show, it makes more sense to point that out as a flaw to the whole "I was friends with him" thing, rather than "Oh, he yelled in your face, lol."
Okay, the weird thing is, the only time I ever saw you and my brother together was when he shoved you at school last week. He shoved you?
No, I tried.
Wasn't very nice, so.
At this moment in the original show, amidst the argument, Evan suddenly says,
I remember a lot of good things about Connor.
to which he immediately tries to back down, but they, mainly Cynthia, wants to hear those things leading into For Forever.
Never mind, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have.
No, Evan,
Never
you were
mind.
saying something.
No, it doesn't matter.
We want to hear what you have to say.
Where here, Cynthia just pretty much puts Evan on the spot.
I'm not the only one. You remember, right?
Right. Of course. Yes, of course they were good things.
Tell us something.
Oh, the entire scene here
what
is
were
just
the good
Cynthia
things?
making assumptions, and Evan just kind of goes along with it because we need it to happen.
What were the good
We would email a lot though, mostly so that we didn't have to. He didn't always want to hang out in person, you know.
No, we looked through his emails. There aren't any from you.
Yes. Yeah. No. Of course. That's because he had a different account. It was a secret account. I should have said that before. That was probably.
So, not really, actually. The thing is
We
that
looked through his phone. His texts, emails. We didn't find anything from you.
Yeah, no, I know.
He set up different accounts, ones we couldn't find. He knew you read his emails.
Well, somebody had to be the bag.
I mean, they think you're lovers. You realize that, right?
Wow, that joke does not even work here anymore.
In the original show, Evan made up shit like how he and Connor pretty much talked to each other over emails, and said that Connor shoved him because he wouldn't have wanted to be seen with him, which Jared would point out in the scene after.
His mom
You were best friends, but he wouldn't let you talk to him at school, and when you did, he kicked your ass. That's like the exact formula for secret gay high school lover. Oh my god.
Where here, they cut the lead-ins, making that an orphaned punchline.
And now you want me to make a bunch of fake emails for you. Class.
So Evan gets help from Jared to write the fake emails, leading to, let's be real here, the best song of both versions, Sincerely Me.
Dear Evan Hansen, we've been way too out of touch.
I really don't have much to say about Sincerely Me, other than the fact that Connor hits the low, and the fact that the audio is mixed weirdly in the second half of the song, where the go-karts and instrumental is louder than the vocals. Other than that, it's honestly the most enjoyable song here, so take what you can, I guess. We see that the Murphys have gotten those fake emails. Anyways, Cynthia and Zoe have another poorly acted conversation about Connor.
How about the time he tried to punch through my door screaming at the top of his lungs saying he was going to kill me for no reason?
Which leads to Requiem, which has more of that classic iMovie style editing. Which personally is more insulting to myself, if anything.
Heidi having a conversation about college essays, and Heidi mentions the Connor signature on Evan's cast, which now that I think about it, how the hell did it take this long for her to notice the signature that's written about the size of a continent?
It says Connor on your cast.
Oh. No, yeah.
Evan lies about it by saying,
Sorry, I didn't. It's in memory, so, like, you know, kids are like, they're writing his name on lockers and stuff like that.
For once, I don't actually know if that's better or worse than the original show, where instead he said,
I didn't. This is a different Connor.
the next day, or later, I don't know, this film jumps around a lot to be honest, Elena Beck, played by Amanda Sternberg, asks Evan to be a part of the Connor Project, but Evan declines. Later, Evan is invited to the Murphys for pie. Evan and Zoe have some conversation, and that leads into If I Could Tell Her, my personal least favorite song from both versions of the show. I don't like the song because it just kind of feels creepy, to be honest. Although I have to thank the film for thankfully cutting out the bit where Evan upsets Zoe by attempting to kiss her.
What are you doing?
I didn't know. I only...
After all that, Evan gets invited by Elena to talk about a new project by the name of the Connor Project. It is also in this scene where we get a new song original to the film, and I don't like it. I get that it's trying to have a moral that everyone can suffer from depression, whether it's popular girls, jocks, geeks, other people. But when you get down to it, the anonymous ones is just kind of pointless. And let me remind you, they cut Good For You and Anybody Have a Map, yet kept this pointless number.
Anyways, Evan tells the Murphys about the Connor Project, they support it, and Evan is given a speech for it in front of the school.
Good morning.
But Evan starts to get nervous and his social anxiety starts to take over.
Good morning, students and faculty. I would like to say a few words to you today. About my friend. My best friend, Connor Murphy.
Holy shit.
I agree, Jared. This performance sucks. People start filming as Evan stands up and performs arguably the show's main number.
Lift your head and look around. You will be fine.
People start uploading Evan's speech online, one of which apparently was uploaded by Darman. Also, once again, this editing is ass. Like, what the hell is this? Also, let's remember the fact that Evan is technically now famous for lying his ass off, and unlike the stage show, it doesn't feel like he did it for a good cause. So it's basically just a live-action Shark Tale. And we all know how people like Shark Tale. So Evan finally gets his brand recognition cast off of his arm. The Connor Project is starting a Kickstarter campaign to reopen that apple orchard, and Evan starts bonding with the Murphys more and more. Heidi then confronts Evan about the fact that she saw the video of him doing that speech. Anyways, you know the drill. It's time for them to act stiff and wooden again.
I thought that you broke your arm at work.
See, you told me you broke your arm at work at the...
Okay, well, who do you think drove me to urgent care and waited there with me? You were at work. You remember? I couldn't even... You didn't answer your phone.
Well, who do you think drove me to the hospital? Who do you think waited with me in the emergency room for 3 hours? You were at work, remember? I couldn't even... You didn't answer your phone?
You told me that your boss took you.
Well, so I lied, obviously.
No, you told me your boss took you to the hospital.
Well, so I lied, obviously.
So when were you planning on telling me any of this?
When would I tell you exactly? When are you even here?
I'm here now.
Well, so when were you planning on telling me any of this, or you weren't?
When would I tell you exactly? When are you even here?
I'm here, right now.
You know, those aren't free. Sorry.
Sorry for my slight annoyance.
I'm proud of you.
You know, with that somewhat pissy and murderous look in his eyes, I'm starting to wonder if this is a secret origin story for Cletus Cassidy. Hell, now that I think about it, did Connor actually kill himself, or is that just what the police think happened? After that, Evan gets invited to the Murphys again, where...
Hi, honey.
Holy hell! Heidi gets mad at Evan for lying to her about where he's been, and aside from, once again, this poorly acted conversation...
Mom, will you please come back inside?
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Will you just come back inside, please?
They think you're their son, these people.
They think you're their son. These people.
They're not these people.
They're not these people, okay? They're my...
I know that there is, and I know that I'm a burden. I'm the worst thing that ever happened to you, and I just ruined your life, okay?
No, I'm such a burden. I'm the worst thing that ever happened to you. I ruined your life.
No, you
are the best thing. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. Sorry, I can't give you anything more than that.
You are the one good thing that has ever happened to me, Evan. I'm sorry, I can't give you anything more than that.
It's not my fault if other people can.
Well, it's not my fault other people can.
This is where the song Good For You would be. Yeah, I know, the song that shows what Evan is doing is hurting the people around him, and they thought the anonymous ones deserved to be in the movie and with an upcoming reprise, yet the actual plot important song is apparently not necessary to the goddamn movie. The next day, Alana confronts Evan about the plot holes in the emails. If only she could have confronted the writers about the script.
Well, the thing about the emails is just that, like, you and Connor keep talking about climbing this tree together in June.
Mm-hmm.
We were in school in June.
So, they could have gone out on the weekend.
You didn't have a cast until September.
Okay. You see, you should have started out with that one. That point instead of the other one, because that one makes way more sense, to be honest. So Evan shares a photo of the email to Alana, you know, the one that started the whole plot to begin with. Actually, now that I think about it, why the hell does he even have a photo of the email? At least in the original show, you could argue that Evan took the photo of it at the moment and then sent it immediately after. Where here, he just has
There's a photo of the claimed suicide note for some reason.
So after a pointless reprise of an already pointless song, Alana posts the note online and the Murphys become
public enemy number 1!
Evan rushes over to the Murphys to see how they are doing, and not wanting them to be put through any more pain, Evan reveals the lies of the Murphys in the most unintentionally funniest damn bit in the entire movie, Words Fail.
I wrote
You and Connor at the orchard.
The best part about Words Fail is just the climax, where Ben Platt's "How you doing, fellow kids?" makeup just gets scrunches up as he tries to look miserable, and it's just, what the fuck is that face? He looks like an old man that tried to escape from an old folks' home, somehow got lost in the woods, and is now just shitting himself. Like, how do they think this looks normal? Also, remember when I mentioned the tree footage? On the original show, we found out exactly how Evan broke his arm, when Ghost Connor, in a cut subplot I forgot to mention, says,
Did you fall? Or did you let go?
revealing to the audience that Evan broke his arm from a failed suicide attempt. My problem with it in here is because they played the forest footage so many times throughout this movie, you either get annoyed by it, or you just, know what happens. Or both, even. Literally, it's such a simple fix, too. You just play the footage 2 times in the film. You play an edited version in 4 Forever, showing the fictionalized version, and then for Words Fail, you show how it actually happened. So after all that fun stuff, Evan returns home, and he and Heidi have a conversation where he reveals to her what really happened. You know, in case you didn't realize somehow.
That's not what I meant.
Which then follows into the last of the songs from the original musical, So Big, So Small. Which I also really have nothing to say, because I don't really know what to say about the song in general. And after So Big, So Small, Evan puts a video of himself where he reveals he made a severe lapse in his judgment and lied about knowing Connor. Which after that, we get our last and other original song for the film, A Little Closer. Over the new song, we see footage of Evan trying to know stuff about the real Connor, which he could have done when the lie started, but
let's be real, who gives a fuck at this point?
Also, Evan reads Ready Player One. There's that. So after a time skip, Evan and Zoe meet up at a newly rebuilt orchard and have a conversation. And where after that, Evan does a short reprise of A Little Closer, finally accepting himself for who he is. A liar.
And that was Dear Evan Hansen. Does it work as a film adaptation? Fuck no.
Till next time, people. Signing out.